David MacKinnon.
David MacKinnon.
MacKinnon!
飛ばしています。レフトへ伸びていくか。下がって狙った見上げた。
Welcome to Pacific Swings. I'm Jasper Spanjar, and boy, have we got an exciting guest lined up for today.
I'm just not enough to carry the show anymore, you know. And I'm David MacKinnon. Today, we're talking to someone who's currently playing the same position I was playing for the Lions. So this is officially the first baseman show.
Yeah, we're talking to Tyler Nevin of the Seibu Lions, Pacific League MVP for the month of May, first player to 100 hits this season in the Pacific League, and a legitimate batting title candidate. After playing in Baltimore, Detroit, and Oakland over the past few years, he signed with the Lions in the NPB and immediately became one of their best players.
I mean, pretty much, you guys told us who you wanted, and we've had Tyler on our list for a while now, so we got to give the people what they want, you know? So Tyler, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you guys. Hell of an introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Tyler, let's start here. We're watching your season's been great. Follow the stats. I mean, it's a little bit late for me to watch games and stuff. So I'm not watching every game. I don't see all your at-bats, but
yeah.
It's been well documented. They've been looking, you know, for a first baseman for the last couple of years. You know, 2023 was a big year. They fell in love with the first baseman that year.
They tell tales of MacKinnon, man.
Yeah,
You're
they've been
underselling
searching,
yourself.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, how much have you enjoyed being there? How much have you enjoyed connecting with the fans over there? Because they do love a steady presence at first.
It's it's been a great experience. It really has. Definitely the right decision I made in the offseason. You know, there was a couple of different options going out there, but no, I'm just really happy with it. It's gone as well as I possibly could. I've learned so much, just gained a whole lot of perspective, and you know, I've played a lot of fun baseball, learning a lot of new stuff. So it's been a great year. I'm just really excited for this year and honestly the next 2 years. So, you know, all good things.
Yeah, you've had an unbelievable run this year, like to start out that hot, the beginning of your MPB careers. Crazy. A lot of times it takes a couple months to kind of figure out some of these pitchers. You kind of figured out pretty quick. What's been key for that?
Yeah, I mean, spring training and
Slightly
honestly
longer spring training.
Slightly longer, yeah, slightly longer. And even into the first month, I was just trying to gather as much information as I could, you know, trying to see a lot of pitches, knowing that I'm going to see a lot of these guys throughout the year, multiple times, a ton of times, you know, that just kind of understanding it's going to be a learning experience the whole year. You know, there's going to be adjustments, there's going to be counter adjustments. I just kind of really just diving fully into the culture and how the game's played and just embracing it. I've had some success. I've enjoyed it. I feel like I've gained some relationships too, you know, in the coaching staff and the players, and it's been, like I said, a great experience. So, you know, just trying to finish strong here.
David just alluded to the fact that he doesn't get to watch too many of your at-bats. I'm in the lucky position that with our time zone change, I actually do. So a lot of the times I'll work from home and have a sort of second screen set up, and I'll put the Lions on that screen. So I've actually been able to enjoy a lot of Tyler Nevin at bats, and boy, they've been enjoyable to watch. And if we pivot back to start of the season, it does seem like you've been able to really implement some of the stuff you maybe wanted to do or change your at bat tactics a little bit. Could you talk about just the way that you've progressed in that?
Yeah, like I said, a lot the beginning was just learning, surviving. I would say just getting your knock here and there, and trying to drive in runs, just keeping it very simple. But as the year goes on, you get a little bit more comfortable. You start to learn how guys and certain teams are attacking you. You can kind of, you know, take the next step and work along with that. So it's been a great experience for me because this is really the first year in 5 years, 2019, that I've gotten to play consistently. You know, the last 3 years being a lot of options, a lot of assignments up and down, and not feeling like I was learning a whole lot, that I was just kind of playing for that night and not really looking big picture. Once I started to establish myself here, it was really refreshing to kind of try to expand like who I am as a player, because I really haven't been able to do that since my AA year. You know, AA, I played in 2019, I played in Hartford, Connecticut in the Eastern League. And the next year was a COVID year. We didn't really play, and I was at the alternate sites, but no real games. And then from then on, it was all options, AAA big league, AAA big league, And so this has been honestly one of the best parts for the baseball, has been able to kind of try to grow again as a baseball player and make adjustments, and not just try to get a hit that night so I don't get optioned the next day. So it's been a great experience, especially with all that.
Yeah, I mean, survival mode, I mean, a lot of people don't understand, like, oh yeah, they're baseball players, they they get to play baseball every day. Survival mode's not a fun place to be. Like, not a fun place to be when you're either in the big
No.
leagues and you're like trying to stay up, and like you don't even care about like the paycheck's like 10 times more. You're hoping you stay up so you can collect that paycheck. In order to collect that paycheck, you're gonna have to get some hits, whether those hits are good hits or bad hits. You're not even worried about getting better. You just need to put up some results in order to stay there. And then also in the MPB survival mode at the beginning, you're like, gosh, like it's tough because you haven't seen half these pitchers. They all throw different things that you've never seen before. The ball kind of moves a little differently too. So the beginning of the season, you're just, no matter what, it's like we're trying to get a couple knocks. You also don't want to be that foreigner that has that struggle month and then gets written off and gets sent down for the rest of the year, and like, oh, there goes my MPB day, So it's like,
Yeah,
there's that struggle. Yeah, it's just tough to play that way, but yeah, you give you at bats, you're gonna hit. That's what it was always like.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, it's a lot of it, honestly, with building that foundation at the beginning. It still didn't really feel like I could take that risk of like, oh, let me try this. I might optimize some stuff, given that the counter is you're gonna, go south and not play as well.
Yeah.
But once we started getting in talks on, playing the next couple of years, and once we really inked that deal, to play the next 2 years here, it kind of freed me up even more so to be like,
Yeah.
all right, well, now let's really see what we can try to unlock here to try to optimize that. So that's what I feel like I've really kind of taken a step in developing even more, and kind of taking maybe not a risk, but feeling comfortable to try something out for 5 at bats and see how it works. So that's been helpful
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's well, you've alluded to the decision to extend with the Lions too. I know most foreign players have to prove themselves for a full year before you can even get those talks. But it also speaks to how quickly you've become essential to that organization. But what was it that made you wanted to commit long term to Japan and to the Lions? At the first opportunity you were going to get.
I just, kind of looking at it, it just felt almost like a no-brainer between me and my wife. It was just, once we learned like life in Japan, like we can enjoy ourselves here. It's a daunting task at first when you kind of try to picture what that looks like, but then you come over here and you get the hang of it and you realize it's not really that, it's a little different, but it's nothing insurmountable. And to just kind of, like I said, go back to getting some security sense of that has been great. The team has been so helpful from day one, just, making sure everything in the apartment was good, flights, coordinating, picking up my wife from the airport, stuff like that. It does seem like the organization invested a lot into me to make me feel very comfortable. So that was good going forward. They get to kind of establish they're going to do this for as long as I'm here. This is not just a couple weeks thing and then all right, we'll figure it out from here. It's been the whole season. So the coaching staff and the players, like it's a young group. It's a young group that has showed a lot of promise and a lot of flashes of success that I feel like if I come over and I do my job, like there's a real chance we can make some noise. So I'm excited to see what they have to offer, and it's a good group.
That's awesome. No, and we alluded to it in the intro. You were the first player to 100 hits in the Pacific League, also the MVP for the month of May. I like to think I had something to do with that because I was over in Japan that month and naturally went to watch the Lions Marines. It was bases loaded. You decided to hit a grand slam. So a true story. Nearly fell out of my seat for that one because I was trying to high five the fan behind me, and let's just say, a Japanese stadium seating wasn't designed for people my size. But I'm just curious, bases loaded and a bat like that, it's just electric to watch. But what's your approach with bases loaded? Is there anything you try to do differently?
Well, what the pitcher definitely wants is a strikeout or a ground ball in that situation. So I just do my best to hit the first pitch that is, kind of middle to up in the zone to try to hit it to the outfield. But, because that's going to be hopefully a sac fly, maybe something in the gap. But it's kind of just that cat and mouse of understanding what he's trying to do and avoiding that, but also thinking about it not negatively of like all the things that can go wrong, but all right, I'm going to hunt the pitch that's going to help me out, and everything else, realize the pressure's on him, and then and just go from there, and stay aggressive too. You never want to get in that situation and feel like passive, because there's a lot of opportunity in those situations. So just maintain the mentality that, he's in trouble, not you. So I think that helps too. That was a great moment, by the way. That was one of the coolest moments this whole year. So that's pretty cool that you were there.
Honestly, best baseball moment I've experienced for a long time, because it was honestly.
You got Jasper blushing, dude. You got him
Yeah,
blushing.
I'm so happy, mate. It was one of the best just sporting moments I've experienced in a long time too. So yeah, it's just whenever you see something like that happen, it's just cool.
I'm with you. I'm with you because the crowd went crazy. It was it was a good like welcome to the Balloon Dome moment for me. It was early-ish in the year, first homer at home, and so just the eruption of the crowd was really cool. Nothing. I can't remember too many times, if any, that I did that in America. So that was kind of like the same feeling for me. Just a lot of adrenaline, a lot of energy in the building.
Yeah, I remember my first homer in the Balloon Dome. We were playing Oryx, and it was third game of the season. We lost the first 2 games, and I think it was like a 6th inning homer. They were all fired up about it. And then a couple nights later, I hit another homer, and it was for Sumida. He hadn't had a win or something.
I remember that.
And I hit a homer for Sumida, and Sumida was like literally crying as the hero. He's like, "Thank you so much." He's like, I haven't had a win in I think it was like 15 starts or something. And I had no idea. I was just like, "Oh, you're welcome, dude." Like, threw me a Tuesday and I hit it pretty good,
Yeah. No, it's big. It's big for them. I've noticed that too. Every time you score, like the pitcher, he's like, "Thank you for doing that for him specifically."
Yeah, for him. I was like, that's all I was thinking about, dude. I was like, I need to do this.
Think about you in that moment. Yeah. It's really cool. It's fun to kind of get back to the lost parts of American baseball. Like, get the pitcher a win. You know what I mean? Like, that means a lot. That means a lot, and I actually appreciate that.
Another cool aspect of that night is I also sort of make myself the promise, if I'm going to a baseball game and I see a player of the team I'm rooting for hit a homer, I always try to go and buy their jersey. Went up to the Lions club shop in probably the 6th or 7th inning. And I'm like, I'm looking for a Nevin jersey because I couldn't see it there. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, we don't have it, but you can pick up like the letters and the numbers, and we can print it for you." I was like,
customize it.
Cool,
yeah.
That's great. So we go up and have this really friendly guy, like, Nevin, number 26. Like, okay, cool. Go to the checkout till, and she starts packaging like everything, putting everything in a bag for me. And I'm like, "Sorry, could you print the number?" They're like, "Oh no, sorry, the printing's closed, but it's very easy. You can do it at home." And I'm like, "Sorry, sorry. Do you have an iron? You can just iron it at home." I'm like, I can barely iron a shirt, let alone make sure the numbers look good. But
they
then
I'll hang with them.
Yeah. So then I walk back and I see all these fans wearing a Nevin jersey, and and I was like, have all these people just ironed it on themselves? And I think that speaks true, though, because I think a lot of Japanese fans actually, willing to go through that trouble. Obviously,
they will.
I'm European, so I buy easy iron shirts. I don't do ironing.
Yeah,
and it's like, but it was just cool to see. But how have you found that sort of fan interaction up to this point?
No, I feel it. We fly, other than, unlike American and the big leagues, like we fly public, so we at the airports amongst the fans, really. And you feel it everywhere you go, because there's a lot of traveling fans, and so you're basically amongst them, and super respectful. Nobody's overdoing it. It doesn't really feel like that. They're genuine passion and thankfulness. Honestly, they're just so thankful that you play for their team and that you're producing for them. So no, it's a pretty incredible experience to see how much it means to these people. And it's something very special.
I have 2 questions about fans, okay?
Hmm.
Have you met my guy Con Chan, the guy in the yellow? He has the
Yeah,
yellow shirt. Oh my gosh, dude, that guy's
absolutely.
he's just an absolute savage, dude.
Yeah,
He is
he's great. No,
he's
he's
so
great.
funny. Tries to
He's
speak a
funny.
little English too. Did he
The
make a
classic
shirt of you
gambate.
of your face? Oh yeah,
Gambate.
Yeah. He made like a towel. You got a
Towel, okay.
towel. Yeah, I've got it. I think my wife actually took it home, but yeah, no, the personalized merch is pretty crazy. I've got
It's
a couple
hilarious.
fans, like the waving fans.
Yep.
So I've got a couple of those. I've got a pretty solid stack of merch coming back home.
Yeah.
Completely fan made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they crush it. They give you
Yeah.
gifts, like they want you to feel welcome. They take time out of their day to make you something. You might get a DM in the States saying you suck, but that's about all you're getting in the States, you know?
Yeah. No, the presents
But
have been great. Sign something and they hand you a present. A lot of times you'll get a present back of, sometimes it's like tea. I got a kimono. I got a full kimono, like like a lounge around the house. I haven't put it on
that's
yet, but it looks
crazy.
great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Definitely gonna bust that out at some point. But yeah, bags of tea, coffee. Like I've gotten a bunch of really cool gifts along the way.
Coffee's great in Japan.
True. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
Anyway, the other question
Yeah.
was,
I mean, it's early. It's early
Yeah.
where you are,
I'm just
David.
thinking of coffee. I'm like, gosh, coffee be great right now. So the other question I had was, have you got to stop at the fruit shop right down the street
Fruit
from
shop.
you guys?
I have. Yeah. We've
Fruit shop.
got a relationship going.
Yep. Naoki's
great.
the best. He's so cool.
Naoki's great. Yeah. He's good. I mean, he sometimes won't take my money. I'm like, dude, you've been giving me way too many free oranges. Like, let me pay for these. It's been great. They've all mentioned you too. Don't think it's been lost on them.
I want to come back at some point.
I
mean, it would be much more fun for me to just come back and watch a baseball game for once. I haven't really watched a baseball game, so I would very much enjoy that.
I've had a few visitors, and they all love it. They're all blown away. They say it ruins Major League Baseball for them because
it does ruin it. I went to a
24/7.
I went to a big league game, and I was like, wow, this is like pretty quiet.
Yeah.
It's pretty. There's just not some dull noise, and that's about it.
People on their phones, unless it's like an active inning, but it's not like every single pitch. People are on their toes,
No.
It's just different. But we get to run a little parallel game now, and sorry for all the fans of other NPB teams because this may be a bit of a Lions takeover going on right now. But you obviously both played for this team and in large part got sort of front row tickets to some of the best talent in Japan. Let's do some quick fire questions. First question we have, the most impressive pitcher on the Lions. Since it's sort of your show, Dave, you get to go first.
So when I was there, I thought Kona was the most impressive pitcher at that time. Now, I think it has slightly changed, but Kona was, for me, like the guy that he was like 96 to 98 that year, which was crazy. His velo was just up a little bit more. He'd just gotten the drive line. He was like an automatic 7-8 innings every single time out. I thought Kona was the most impressive then, but stuff-wise was always Imai. Imai was the best stuff-wise. Like, I faced him in spring training, and I was like, I have no shot. If he throws the ball over the plate, I cannot hit it.
Tyler, how about you?
Yeah, Imai's pretty incredible. It's kind of fun to watch him get angry. It's not always great when he's giving up a few base runners, but I do get a little bit of enjoyment when he puts it into the kind of, all right, business time mode of just, all right, I'm going to blow up 98 by you. I'm going to blow 100 by you to get back into this count, to just kind of establish his dominance again. Like, all right, enough is enough. Let's get some outs here. Because a lot of the game he's in cruise control. He's getting his strikes in, he's getting his contact or his punch outs really. But when there get some guys on base, he kind of flips a different switch. And it turns into something special. So that's always pretty fun to watch.
I wish I had that switch like at the plate where I could just be like,
Wouldn't
know what?
Be nice?
I'm gonna get nasty now.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, 2 strikes. I guess I'll hit a homer now.
Okay, then. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it would be nice.
So who's the most impressive young hitter that you've seen on the Lions, Tyler?
Yeah, I think Nishikawa has been pretty solid for us the entire year. He's man center field. as well as anybody I've ever seen. Great, accurate arm, ranging all the way everywhere. And at the top of the order, basically, I don't know the exact stats, but I'd love to see the games that he gets a hit to lead off the first inning, top of the inning.
You guys seem to win if that happens, yeah.
It's a great formula. He gets on, somebody moves him over, somebody drives him in, and then just getting that first round on the board is so big. So I'd love to see that record of when he gets a hit. Not putting the losses on him at all, but when he
just
does
don't play
get
the
a
game
hit,
after he doesn't get a hit.
right?
We're done.
But
It's
when he
over.
does get that hit and we do drive him in, the record's got to be great. So
yeah, I think so.
he's been a lot of fun to watch. Really kind of developed too. Like start off super strong, hit a little bit of rough patch, and then keep going after that too. Making those adjustments. So it's been fun.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Nishikawa, he was up and down when I was there, and I think he broke the record for most consecutive at-bats without a hit. So he was like at the low point in his career because he finished 2022 like really bad skid. 2023 started. I believe this is what happened because they were explaining it to me. Now, I don't speak Japanese, so here we are. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he ended up breaking the record at the beginning of 2023. Not 100% sure. So don't be yelling at me after this, guys.
We will yell at you. Yeah.
I know. We will. I get tweets about stuff, But yeah, he was impressive. I thought he was super talented. Watanabe, just from his at-bats I've seen, he looks like he just has a good swing. And then Yamamura, I was always impressed with Yamamura. But I don't know how many at-bats has he gotten lately?
I'm not really sure. Seiya has been great. First full season, I believe. Or maybe his second.
Yeah, first year, drafted 2025. Yep.
Yeah. So just
imagine getting drafted and being in the big leagues immediately.
It's a great part of Japanese baseball. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yes.
No, and right away too.
Yeah.
Right away he was he rolled his ankle, both ankles a couple times, so that unfortunately kind of stalled his hot streaks. But I mean, it was anything he was putting in play with a hit, and it wasn't just flares here and there. It was hard. It was line drives. So all like I said in the beginning, great pieces for a bright future. Something I'm excited to be a part of, the next few years.
Could you please elaborate on how you roll both ankles?
Yeah, the second one it's my fault because the guy threw me 2 splitters. I swing, well, just I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm swinging out of my ass, both of them. And third at bat, I'm like, what's he gonna throw now? I think I was 0 for that day, maybe a little frustrated. I'm going down swinging if I'm going down. Throws it again, and halfway there, I let up too late. I do this weak check swing and hit this really soft liner to first. Say it's on first base. So at first, something hit that way, you kind of think that it's going to be hit a little harder. He has to haul back to the base, and he, I think he didn't slide. He kind of just went into the base hard. I've noticed this about the Japanese bases too. They're kind of slippery,
squishy, and slippery.
Yeah. So and he just hit the base hard, rolled his ankle. Just one of those things that happens. So that was the second one. I forget what happened the first, but no, that's just part of playing.
So as a good teammate, you're like, I got to hit balls harder and get more hits, so this doesn't happen to players anymore.
Yeah, in a way.
Just a good teammate. Just a good teammate.
Yeah. If I would have at least swung through that, anyway, I would have just gone back to the dugout. He would have had their healthy ankle.
Yeah, I remember his start to the season. I think he was hitting 400 to start the season.
Yeah.
He was so far ahead of anyone else in the batting average. It was insane to see. And for a rookie to do that, and I think he was the first rookie to be named to the All-Star game this year based on fan vote. So I think that also says something.
Yeah,
but
without a doubt.
Toughest Pacific League opponent you've faced. So Dave, does his name start with Yama and end with Moto?
Tyler's fortunate where he has not had to face Yamamoto or Sasaki.
Haven't had the pleasure.
Yeah. Yamamoto, I had more success against Yamamoto, but I would say best pitcher when healthy. I don't think Sasaki's been healthy since 2023. But Sasaki, I think he's the best pitcher in the world if he's healthy. He's just always 100 to 102 with a splitter that's 92 and a slider that's 88. I just didn't have a chance that night. Like I went up there and the ball just whizzed by. I heard it, didn't really see it. And I was 0 for 4, and he threw me a bunch of splitters that moved different ways, and I just had no chance. And I think that's the only time I've ever gone up to the plate and been like, wow, if he throws a pitch over the plate, I really don't have a chance. Like I was like that in spring training a little bit. Well, this was like season I felt good, and I saw that and I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, both those guys gone stateside as I've come here, so haven't had the pleasure. There's two that stick out, Miyagi and Moinello. It's tough to really point out either one of them because they attack you in two different ways. I would say Moinello's got a little more power to him, but Miyagi's just as effective with 6 pitches, flips in and ephus whenever he wants, and then rides 94 up and in on you. Those two guys have been their battles, and the team feels that when you play them, all right, we gotta grind today. We need the whole team. We need the pitcher to limit the other team to maybe 2 runs, and we got to score a couple. So those two guys stick out for me, I would say.
I was kind of shift over to your dad. Now, just to introduce your dad, Phil Nevin, he had a 12-year big league career. I think it was 12 years. Managed in the big leagues. He managed me in the big leagues. I was up there with him for a couple months, and just a fun story in regards to that was I got called up, didn't know if I was going to play. It was during that COVID protocol stuff where like there's taxi squad, and so I get called up, not sure if I'm going to play, not sure if I'm just taxi squatting and waiting. We have a double header in Seattle, and I'm just sitting there after the first game in the locker room, like, I don't know if I'm playing. I'm eating my Chipotle, hoping to play, but not really knowing. And then Nev comes in and goes, like, the deep voice is like, "Hey, Mac, I gotta talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh, dear God." He's like, "Hey, I'm playing first." And I'm like, and then like, it was crazy, he was awesome. And I mean, my major league career wasn't great, but he was an awesome manager. Loves playing for him. He was for the guys. Like you knew he was behind you. You knew he had your back at all times. We had a great benches clearing brawl with him as the manager too. One of the best ones like in recent history. Honestly, that was like one of the best ones. So
I forgot you were there for that. Yeah,
that was like week 1, dude, in the big leagues, and I was just like, "Please don't hurt me. I just want to like collect a check."
I mean, it was like one of his first weeks too because
I know
just taking over.
Crazy.
It was
just
quite
taking
the start.
Quite the start. And I mean, honestly, it was like our coaching staff versus like their superstars. It was like all your coaches are ejected, and then like it was like Julio was ejected, Suarez got ejected. Like we were facing their bench, and we won 2-1. But that was a crazy game. But just a fun story. That's Tyler's dad.
Yeah, I think that's the most consistent praise he gets amongst a lot of the guys I've spoke to that have played for him. I think that's his main selling point is he's all about his players. I think he appreciated that the most when he was a player. And I mean, amongst the other things, that's one of the best things as a player. He's going to try to do everything he can to make sure you know where you stand. He's going to let you know when you're playing, when you're not playing. He's going to try to get you in there, stuff like that. He's going to yell at the umpire for you, as we know. But it's always a good feeling when your manager, even if you're in the wrong, and he'll let you know if you're in the wrong, but he's still going to have your back. He's still going to have your back, and for the public and on the field. So it's always a good feeling and something that's pretty cool to hear of,
I
when
did
people are talking
appreciate
about your dad.
I did appreciate every time he told me, like, because I wasn't playing every day, and he'd be like, "Hey, you're gonna play tomorrow." Like it's like easier to sleep when you're just like, "Hey, I'm playing," or like you actually can expect to play rather than like show up and be like, "Oh, I'm not playing again," or like, "Oh dear God, I'm playing." Like I gotta get ready. It's just nice to know.
Yeah, no, that came because he ended up having a good career. The first 4 or 5 years of his career were rocky. He was up and down a lot. He was struggling. He struggled to really establish himself, but once he did, he had a few years of the potential people saw in him. But I think that comes from those first few years where he realized what it's like to be a player when you don't really know where you stand.
Yeah,
and so I think that's where that comes from. He just wants everybody to feel comfortable so they can kind of be the best they can be.
Mm-hmm.
And how does having that, because I think it's a great story. And I believe Phil also follows us on Twitter. So shout out to Phil again. But what's that perspective like for you, though, as his son? How much does what he went through in his career help you in your career?
Yeah, I mean, just the experiences, his last couple of years, 06 or 07 was his last season. So that put me 9 or 10. And I got to really be around, and those are years I remember. Those last 2 summers of his career, traveling with him. They didn't have as many rules then, so I was in the clubhouse and in the dugout the whole day. I'd show up with him on the bus. So those are experiences that, I mean, now that I'm older, I realize how special they were and how unique and fortunate I was to see that. Then not just the playing, but when he was a coach in the minors, and he was in the minor leagues, I think 7 years as a minor league manager before he got back to the big leagues as a coach. Seeing the ins and outs of developing major leaguers, and learning through him, like, the stuff that really matters, and seeing his players go and become big leaguers and remembering the things he would say about them before they were big leaguers, like the struggles they had along the way. I could go on for hours of all the little things that have helped me become a professional. Kind of when I get drafted, knowing what I'm getting into already, just really getting a leg up and feeling comfortable in professional baseball, all because of the experiences I had following my dad around.
That's very cool, and it's great that you had that experience too.
I wish I had that experience.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I wish I really fully appreciated it when I was younger. I mean, as with everything when we're younger.
Yeah.
But
It's just normal. It's just normal. Though.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh,
It's
this is
just.
life,
I mean,
you know?
this is just
Right.
how it is, and this is how everybody's life is. No, not.
Yeah.
But now looking back, those were pivotal points in growing up.
Absolutely. And what did he think of your move to Japan? Has he been out to Japan yet to watch some of your games?
Yeah. He came out for the first homestand, so he was there opening weekend right away.
Awesome.
He loved it. I mean, he couldn't stop talking about it, just as far as the energy. Because my family, he played baseball, I played baseball, but we're fans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When we retire, we're still going to watch baseball. Not everybody's that way, but we are. It's just what we do. He was so excited just to see like the world of baseball and what that entails, and he was blown away. He's coming back middle of September. He's got a week off. He's working with the White Sox this year. He's doing a little scouting, a little bit of roving in the minor leagues, and he's got a week in September. He can come out, so he's going to come back out.
That's a good time to come out. He got the nice and cool air, and then he'll have some more cool air, and he's kind of skipping the tough part in the middle of the year.
He's coming out during a rough road trip, though. Let me tell you, he's coming out. We have like a makeup game in Sendai for rain, and then we go to Sapporo for a couple days. We have an off day. We go to Fukuoka, play the Hawks one day, and then we come back home and play one game, and then we go somewhere else.
The inefficiency of the final schedule is unbelievable. That's my one thing. I'm like, they had to find a better way to do this. They got to find a better way.
Hey, we'll grind through it, but
we will grind through it.
He's like, we will grind through it. We will live, and we will be fortunate that we're baseball players at the end of the day. But we could maybe approach this a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Something we alluded to too is the fact that you're still in the hunt for the batting title. You may not be numbers watching, but I know I certainly am as a fan. I mean, the numbers have just been really, really good. You hit for average, you're hitting home runs, you're doing basically everything you should be doing. What's your approach been at the plate that's working so well against MPB pitching?
Yeah, I'm just trying to take every day as it is. Really, I just think where I'm finding success in the long term is just thinking short term. Like tonight, I'm facing this guy. What do I got to do to beat him? All right, guys on second. What do I got to do to get him in? Stuff like that. So just really thinking day by day. Also taking in, past matchups into account, but just focusing on the day that is in front of me, one at a time, has probably been the key to that.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing too, like as a ball player, is you can't try harder and get more hits. It's not how it works. It's just like you kind of got to take what the pitcher gives you and just not expect anything more than today. One of the smartest things I was ever told was just don't have expectations. Like, just Like, don't expect that you're going to get any hits. Don't expect, like, the game doesn't owe you anything. Don't expect anything from it. Like, just do your best with what's given to you. And that seems what Tyler's doing. I mean, he's always done that. Also, I didn't even get to tell you guys, but me and Tyler played against each other in 2018, and Tyler was the same way back then. He hit homers and he hit for average. We played against each other in the California League. So I was a slightly different player back then. I wasn't particularly great, but I could hit the ball. Well, Tyler's obviously gotten better, but he's just as consistent as he is now. For the people who didn't know,
I appreciate that. That was a fun year. It's a lot.
You guys, that stadium, golly,
Yeah, it was a hitter's paradise.
it was.
Yeah, Jasper. I mean, it's Lancaster, California, which is when you as a European are thinking California, it's not all like that at all. It's central. It's east of LA. It's desert, and it's in this pocket of desert for some reason. The wind is just howling all
Yes.
day, all
All
night,
day long.
nonstop. It's not like, oh, today it's a little windy, tomorrow it's a little better. Every single day, 30-mile-an-hour winds directly to right center.
Okay,
so it's hitting out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's playing baseball on the moon. They don't play games
Yeah.
there anymore. Didn't make the cut when the major league kind of took over the minor leagues. Stinks for the community, but it was so hard to evaluate success there because it's miss hits or homers. At that point, it became all projections, and it wasn't really about like baseball. Because if you go there and you hit, nobody gave you any praise because you're hitting Lancaster. But if you go there and you suck, everybody's like, wow, he really can't hit. He couldn't hit Lancaster. So it was almost a lose-lose. But that was a fun year. There's only 8 teams in that league, so we played against good old MacKinnon and the fighting 66ers.
The
of England Empire.
66ers. Golly.
We were both playing first too, so if we
Yeah.
got on base, we basically got to know each other just playing.
I should have led with that, We're still getting used to the whole podcast life. So, but
It's all good.
how's life in Tanashi been compared to like living in America and cities? I know for me, like you just walk downstairs and bang, you're in the grocery store. You have your convenience store there, your pharmacy. You almost have like a full blown like
Got everything you need.
mall right next to you.
Yeah, it's a great spot for just learning to live in Japan. 'Cause you're not in Tokyo, it's not full touristy. It's more what the everyday Japanese person really experiences.
Yes,
And like you
for
said,
sure.
we're in this building, and the basement is everything you need as far as the grocery store. It's attached to a mall, so there's like home goods stores. You can buy I bought an air fryer, I bought a coffee machine, stuff like that. So everything I need is in this building. Good restaurants. It's a great spot. It's a great spot to really, like I said, learn what everyday life is like. So it's a great move by the Lions putting us here.
Yeah. So my wife, she says all the time now, she still just misses the fact that she could go downstairs and just go get groceries.
Yeah.
I could just walk downstairs, take like quick elevator, and boom, I'm there.
How about buying like a whole week's worth of groceries for like $40 too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's
yeah.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable, The week's
I mean, I'm
worth of
lucky if-
groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living in San Diego in the off season, I'm lucky if I can keep it, below 150. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's a different world over there. Like pretty much, I feel like the only thing that I paid more for over there was Domino's pizza.
yeah.
Like that was
Yeah,
it.
but why are you
Domino's.
getting Domino's pizza in
Sometimes
Japan?
you
where
need
you've
some
got all
pizza.
these-
Sometimes
Sometimes
you
you
gotta
just
do what
need
you
a
gotta
little
do.
bit.
You'd
Yeah.
be surprised how many professional athletes are hammering McDonald's at post game too. So I'm still finding things down there that I didn't realize were there. I didn't realize how good those little fish like pancakes. They're not made of fish, but they're in the shape of a fish.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah,
pancake
yeah.
with chocolate in the middle.
Yeah.
They have other flavors too, but I go for the chocolate ones. Yeah, little things you find here and there, like just a candy or something. I got a little sweet tooth sometimes. So me and my wife, we get ice cream, more of McFlurry type people.
Bam. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
McFlurry
I mean, a
machines
bigger
aren't
one.
usually broken over there either,
No, everything's
Everything
smooth
works.
operation. I do it. I do the mobile app the second I leave the door, and it's ready the second I pick it up. I've got a very
Yeah.
time system down.
And my last Tanashi question. Sorry, Jasper. The yakiniku spot across the street. Have you been?
Have I been? Yeah. No, we go there a lot.
Nightly basis?
Not so much nightly, but definitely, yeah, I think it's one of the cooler experiences here. Like anytime I have friends or family like come in, yakiniku and a ramen shop, just
Yeah.
that's where I feel like you're kind of getting the real cultural experience, and you can eat like a king, and just feel like you pulled out a few bills and that's it. It's a
Crazy.
really
Super
interactive, doing the grill on your
Mhm.
own. It's a great setup. Really enjoy that spot.
I mean, Dave still talks about it almost every day, so it must
That's
be
one
pretty
thing I
good.
miss, dude. The yakiniku is so good.
I can imagine. I've come to that realization that the season is around the corner. I'll miss yakiniku and I'll miss ramen shops.
And
Those
what do you
will.
miss currently? Like, what are you craving right now? Like that you miss
I'm
from
from
home?
Yeah. No, I'm from California, so I miss my Mexican food and I
Huh.
miss In-N-Out. Those are my two. Those are
Those
my
are good.
two big misses for sure. And I will have a very chubby first week or so going home. I
It's
will be
okay.
eating
You
like
got
a
a
pig.
2-year deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got
Well, it's the first week is always kind of just relaxing anyway, like
Yeah.
like come back from the season. But I'll burn it off too for sure. But it's gonna be a gluttonous first week or so.
But I think after the season, yeah, you've earned that.
Yeah,
Like the
for
season
sure.
you're having, yeah, you're allowed a few burgers and get yourself some Mexican food. But
Yeah.
I'm curious though, because you've played for I think 4 MLB organizations now, and obviously you're blossoming into a star in Japan. And what have you learned about yourself as a person through all these different environments?
I mean, you never truly know what's best for you. In that sense, it's kind of nice to free you up for like, all right, I'm gonna dive in full 100% of what I'm doing right now. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a couple decisions this offseason of, there were a couple Japanese teams, but there was also minor league options to sign at home. So you're kind of weighing like, what's going to be the best for me. And it's tough making that decision, trying to, find a crystal ball would help. But there's been transactions made in the past, trades or being called up, being sent down, where in the moment, everything feels like it's the best thing that's happened to you, and it does, maybe that leads to expectations, and you kind of lose track of where you're at. You know what I mean? You're looking to the future too much. So I think one thing that I've really done well this year, and it's leading to a lot of success, is I said at the beginning, like I'm just diving all in on it. You know what I mean? It helped coming over here by myself early for spring training. It's, there's no wives. You go to like a pretty secluded area for spring training, so you really have no option other than just dive in.
Hmm.
That's been something I've been proud of this year, is, and stuff that I've learned in the past is just, this decision to come over here. It's what's done is done. We're not going to know if it's the right decision or not, but we're going to give it our best shot. So, that's what I've done. And, you know, fortunate for that.
Yeah, I mean, you can always like second guess yourself, but you just got to kind of go all in. I tried to do that too when we went overseas. Just put your best foot forward.
Some of it's in your control, some of it's not. So you just gotta
No,
just
yeah,
gotta do what you can, every day.
Mhm. Yeah, you can't do, yeah, for sure. But my last question is, if you could go back and tell 23-year-old self who got brought up to debut with the Orioles, got signed out of high school by the Rockies, this journey that led you to Japan, like, could you give yourself any advice to that 23-year-old self who debuted, the 18-year-old self who got signed out of high school?
Yeah, I just, not that I didn't cherish those moments, but every step along the way of the responsibilities of getting older and everything changes. And when you're a younger player and you're really just playing for the love of the game, you don't really know what it's like to have bills yet. You don't know what it's like to plan for the future. You're just really
Yeah.
enjoying where you're at. You know what I mean? So just those days in the minor leagues where, you didn't know anything better of what you're missing out on as far as like better food or better hotels, those moments, you got roommates and just the friendships you build in those, those would be fun weeks to go back for, just a week to kind of just be carefree and you're still just playing baseball,
Yeah.
So those little moments, those are fun. Just always cherish those, It's not always what you're doing, it's who you're with,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's
mean,
probably the
there's
best
some
piece of advice I've heard.
Yeah, well, so far, yeah, that's you're winning the advice bit on this podcast. Tyler, this has been great. Congrats on an incredible season so far, and thanks for coming on, man.
No, it's been great. Good to catch up with you guys, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, and thank you for finally filling the void at first base the Lions fans needed, you know.
Doing what I can.
All jokes aside, the organization is in much better hands now, and they should be proud that they signed a good dude and a good player for the next 2 years.
It's been great. Really thankful for the fans and the team for believing in me. So just trying to do the best I can to honor that.
You certainly do, mate. That was awesome. That's another episode of Pacific Swings in the books. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever. And finally, go Lions.
Go Lions.